What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness.
So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel.
So let's start this video with a big breaking news. So Fabian Meyer, who was making his comeback after a gap of almost 3 years into classic physique and who was the obvious favorite to win this upcoming Portugal Pro which is happening this weekend, he has decided to enter the men's open category after failing to make the weight cutoff for classic physique division. Now Fabian is one of the tallest IFBB pros across all the divisions in bodybuilding, and we cannot predict where he's gonna place in the men's open class. But surely the competition in classic, I will be very happy that Fabian is now out of the way, because the man was looking so polished and so dry leading into this show in all the physique updates that he posted during this entire prep. And all the updates, they were clearly suggesting that this time Fabian is going to be considerably bigger compared to the last time he stepped on classic physique stage, which by the way was back in 2022 at the Olympia that year. Now little did we know that he has gotten so big that at 48 hours out, he's weighing 260 pounds and ripped to the bone. Now it's actually a good sign that him and Patrick Tour, they did not revert to some drastic last-minute moves. They did not go for some kind of an aggressive move to bring his weight down, because not only would that have affected his physique big time in terms of losing the muscle, the pop, the fullness, but something like this could also land you in the hospital and you can put your health at risk. Now Fabian has some beautiful lines. He looks massive on his own, but anyone suggesting that he's gonna win the show in the men's open, they are being delusional. There is plenty of difference in the density of the guys in classic versus the guys in the men's open, especially those guys who have been competing as men's open pros for so many years now. Now, if you have any doubts, then just take a look at 2 days out physique update from Nathan Diasha, which by the way was posted by AJ Kelly. So, props to him for giving us this update. And that is some real density right there. And I bet he must be looking way more impressive in person. And then we have the freaks of all freaks, the mass monster, Rubiel Mosquera aka Nixzilla or Quadzilla. So if Rubiel is in condition, if he is on, or if he is in a bad condition, then what we saw at Dubai Pro and what we saw at the Show 31 Italy Pro, and that was just 1 week back, then he's gonna look even bigger and he's gonna be even more dangerous. And with his first pro win already in the bag, Rubiel must be more motivated than ever before. And the man isn't entering this show to place behind Nathan Diasha. He's coming in to challenge Nathan, and he's coming in to win this show. Now Fabian Meyer moving into the men's open, that is a great move, and he can place top 5 in his first men's open show. But the fact is, we're gonna have to give him some time to grow into a bigger division, to put on some muscle, some mass for the men's open class, because this wasn't a pre-planned decision. Their aim was to compete in classic physique. So they're just entering this show to test the waters. All the posts and the captions posted by Patrick, his coach, even a few days out of the show, they were all suggesting that he's doing classic physique. And for the people wondering if Fabian was only about 700 grams above the weight limit when he was about 4 days out of this show and he still did not make the weight, then what probably would have happened is that they might his height a little less than what him and his own team calculated. Nevertheless, this became a big news for this upcoming Portugal Pro show. And let's see how a former classic physique guy, how he compares with some veterans of the game in the men's open class. Next up, we have less than 2 days out physique update from HorseMD, aka Marcelo. So did Fabian moving into the men's open made the chances of HorseMD possibly winning this show his first ever classic physique show, which by the way is also his classic physique pro debut? Well, it could be. HorseMD seems to be in a very good condition, but we cannot predict how he's gonna look like on the stage after dropping 40 plus pounds in the last 6 months or so. We know he's gonna present himself very well. He can pull a super vacuum. He can make his waistline appear smaller. He has one of the best quads in the entire bodybuilding at the moment. Plus, one of his weakest poses, which was front lat spread, because of his wide waistline, that is out for classic physique. So that goes in his favor. His side chest, we all know, is extremely impressive. So that leaves us with just one bad pose for him, and that is the back double biceps, which has always been one of his biggest weakness ever since he turned pro. But more than everything, what's gonna matter the most is how much pop and fullness Hosstile is gonna lose overall on his physique with him dropping so much weight, and what kind of competition we're gonna see in classic physique. So let me know what you guys think. How well Hosstile is gonna do in classic physique, in your opinion. Next up, we have a 14 weeks out physique update from Akim Williams, just about the starting point of another Olympia prep for the beast, as he will be fighting for another top 10 finish at the Olympia this year. Now, we have seen the absolute best of Akim since the Arnold last year. That was his first show with Chris Aceto, and he went from being a guy who was mostly missing his mark on the day of the show in terms of conditioning, from being known as one of the most inconsistent guy, to coming in absolutely ripped, show after show, for almost 7 shows straight. That was really something. Now, Akim was unable to make top 5 at this year's Arnold, Ohio, but he brought a super package. But it is what it is, because he was up against some very good competition, some genetically superior guys, and all of them had better genetics, better aesthetics, and better shapes than him, except for maybe William Bonac. And the problem with Akim, that will always be he loses the back shots in all the big shows, and that too with such a huge margin. And there is really nothing he can do about that because of that nerve problem in his back, and that heavily impacts his placings. Now, Akim did only one show this year, which was the Arnold, and since then he has been focused on just one thing, bringing his very best to this year's Olympia stage. Now, we're gonna have Nick Walker taking one spot somewhere in the top 4 to top 5. But at the same time, Hunter isn't gonna be competing this year. So that puts Akim right in that top 8 to top 10 range. Unless, of course, he brings something seriously impressive, which we have never seen from him ever before. Next up, we have an update from the former Classic Physique champion, the man who set the standard in Classic for 6 years straight with his 6 years Olympia reign. And he's gonna go down in Classic Physique as one of the most dominant Olympia champion. So Chris Bumstead is now making his comeback really fast. And by comeback, I do not mean that he's gonna be back on the stage as a competitor. And Ian Valier did address the statement that was made by Tarek that Chris Bumstead is gonna come back in the men's open class. But as we all expected previously, that Chris Bumstead is now a family man. His priorities are very different, and there is absolutely zero chance of Chris Bumstead ever competing again, ever coming back. Now, this is what Ian also confirmed on BroChat.
I think that he's going to get back on stage. No, I do not. I think the odds of me getting him back on stage are better than Chris. I think when you look at where he is in his life, and he's got a daughter now, and his history with autoimmune and what he's accomplished, I think it's like, I think he's got other things on his agenda that are probably a little more important in his life right now than winning more titles,
But as per his plan previously, Cbum is gonna put on some size. He's gonna get jacked. Because after doing Prague Pro last year, his goal was to get to 240 pounds in a very good shape, but be very athletic at the same time. And now that he has gotten that shoulder fixed, and now that he has taken enough time to recovery and detox, he's getting better visually too on a weekly basis. So will there be another dominant reign in Classic Physique as Chris Bumstead? Let me know what you guys think. And also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.